Hello BookTube, this is Weekly Reads. My reading plan for this past reading week was to read two works of history. House of Lilies by Justine Firnhaber-Baker and The Cleopatras by Lloyd Llewellyn-Jones. I did manage to read The House of Lilies over the course of the weekend. However, I was unable to read the Cleopatras over the course of the work week, Monday through Friday. So let me start with the work of history that I did finish, House of Lilies. So House of Lilies is a history of the Capetian dynasty from its foundation as the ruling house of France in 957. Let me check. No, 987. From 987 with the election of Yuki to the French crown through 1328 when Yuki's however many great-grandson died without heirs, and the crown passed to his cousin, who was himself a however many grandson of Yuki. But normally how the breakdown of dynasties works is that this is considered the Valois dynasty, or branch of the Capetian dynasty, because really the Capetians ruled France until the last king that was overthrown by Napoleon III. I'm blanking on, I think, Louis Philippe of the Orleans branch. But anyway, so this book focuses on this first group of Capetians who are classified as Capetians. And I liked the book. I didn't love it. It was okay. The book is very centered on the various kings of the Capetian dynasty and their transformation of France from a very loose aristocratic society where the great magnates were, for all purposes, kings themselves, to a more bureaucratic state with the French king very much in charge. So it was interesting. I liked it. I didn't love it. It was just okay. And definitely did not reignite my love of history as it had been the last few years. Now, with the Cleopatras, there are a number of reasons why I did not read this book. One of them is that on Tuesday, me and my mom watched 3 of my nieces and nephews, while my brother and sister-in-law went to run errands with the youngest of my nieces and nephews, because she has a habit of throwing a major tantrum when she's left with anybody other than her parents. But anyway, so I would have a part-time reading, as it turned out, with what I ultimately picked to read on Tuesday. But I was also feeling incredibly down at the end of Sunday when I finished House of Lilies, and through that Monday, which also saw me and my mother going over to my brother's house to spend some time with the kids. So I did dip into the introduction, and I didn't care for it all that much. But maybe coming back to it in a few weeks might improve things. So the Cleopatras is a group biography of the 7 women who were named Cleopatra and the Ptolemaic dynasty. Now, I ultimately went to poetry for the work week readings. So on Tuesday, I read Native Guard by Natasha Trethewey, and it was okay. Although I did have a difficult time reading it because I was distracted by the movie that my brother put on before he left. The kids were a bit rambunctious, not too bad, and I had to protect my mother from the kittens. My brother and sister-in-law have a number of cats, including 2 kittens who like to use my mom's wheelchair as a playground. And my mom does not appreciate that at all. On Wednesday, I read Dear Miss Schubert, poems by Lipska, translated by Robin Davidson and Elzbieta Nowakowska, these were okay as well. They didn't really jump out at me, but they were okay. And then on Monday and on Thursday, I read Queer Nature finished off Queer Nature, edited by Michael Walsh. So this is a reread, and I started this anthology back in April when I started to not have as great a reaction to poetry as I had. But coming back to the collection, the anthology, over the course of this week, improved things significantly. I really enjoyed, again, what I read of the later half of this collection. So that leads me to what I will be reading this coming reading week with the beginning of June. Now, I did do earlier today my June reading plans, which are subject to change depending on my moods. But the plan for this coming week is to read 12 volumes of Black Clover by Yuki Tabata, volumes 12 through 23. Black Clover is a fantasy series in a world in which practically everybody has some form of magic that they strengthen or enhance by usage of grimoires. However, Asta, a young orphan, has no magic. He is one of the very, very few people in this world with 0 magic. However, this lack of magic allows him to wield a black grimoire that bears within it an anti-magic weapon. This allows Asta to join his foster brother, who unlike Asta is a prodigy wizard. He has an incredibly powerful grimoire, and he has a natural talent for magic, to both join the Magic Knights, order of accomplished wizards who devote their lives to defending the Clover Kingdom. Both Yuno and Asta aspire to become the Wizard King, the leader of the Magic Knights in the Clover Kingdom. So I've been loving the first 11 volumes, and I'm really looking forward to getting to the next 12. And over the course of the work week, I will be starting on Dune by Frank Herbert. This is one of the classic works of science fiction. It's a space opera set thousands of years in the future, in which there is a galactic imperium, in feuding royal houses, in which the emperor decrees that the House of Atreides must replace their enemies, the Harkonnens, on the planet Arrakis, which is the source of the spice melange, which is a mutagenic drug that allows for humans to perform various superhuman to gain very superhuman abilities. Most prominently, a predictive ability that allows for faster than light travel without the use of artificial intelligence, which is banned in this universe. House Atreides has as its heir a young man named Paul who feels himself burdened by a terrible destiny. And as he and his mother survive the fall of his family, that purpose begins to crystallize, and he begins to change. So Dune is one of the many BookTube events taking place in June is Dune in June, in which participants read Dune. I have mixed feelings for this book, which over the coming weeks I will talk about a lot more because I'm pretty sure I will be confronting those feelings. So anyway, BookTube, that's all I have for this week. Reading wise, so I don't quite know what I'm going to do BookTube wise next week, except for a continuation of my 2024 library tour. And there are a few videos I would like to make, but I don't know if I will. We shall see. Anyway, BookTube, until I see you next week, thank you. Have a great week, evening and weekend, and stay safe.